Okay, so let's talk about how I quit my job to make videos. So if you're like me and you're a creative person and you love the thought of actually working for yourself to create videos, but you're working in a 9 till 5 for somebody else, not doing what you love to do, then your number one dream is to work for yourself and just create videos. But when you're constantly being asked to do things that you know are pointless, or you're not getting the creative freedom that you think you deserve, or you might just simply hate the workplace politics that goes on. Yeah, that was me 7 years ago when I literally walked away from my job to make videos full time. But I'm guessing you probably want to hear how I did it so that you can do it as well, or you can share it with somebody else that wants to do it. So let's get into it. Okay, so in a nutshell, I was working full time while building my business on the side and building my brand. And then eventually my business doubled my salary that I was on, to the point where I cut my hours down to part-time. And then once I knew that everything was secure because I had a family at the time, then I left my workplace altogether and went all in on my business and started a video marketing agency. Now it all might sound easy, but it wasn't, and it took a lot of learning and development on my part. But hopefully in this video I'm going to give you some tips that you can practically put into action yourself to make it happen for you. Because that's what we're about on this channel, helping to empower you to do what you want to do. Now what I am thankful for with my job, at the time I was a community developer, so it put me in a position where I was in front of the key decision makers. Now when I was in front of these decision makers, I'm hearing their pain points, their problems, and then I'd offer a solution for free, something that they can implement with their teams immediately to get results. And by doing this, it built up credibility, because when they start to get results based on the things that I'm giving them for free, then they're going to come back to me and offer payment for me to do it for them or with them. And that's what happened. And I gradually did that to people that was in key positions of influence, so that they could then bring opportunities to my table because I've helped them out with so many things. And it comes back to the point of add value to people as much as you can, where you can, for free if needed. Now this brings us to tip number one: mind your own business. Mind your own business. Something that I got from Robert Kiyosaki in his book Rich Dad Poor Dad. He talks about, if you're an employee, make sure that you're minding your own business by building something on the side of your employed role. So if you work in a job, always have a side hustle or a side business that you're building. Now, I'm not saying that you neglect your responsibilities as an employee, because I never did that and I never encourage anyone else to do that. You should always go far and beyond, because at the end of the day, it's you as a brand. So never do a sloppy job in your employed role, and never look to get around things illegally, like spending time off to do other things that are a conflict of interest. Depending on your work, you're going to have certain barriers that you're going to need to get around when you're building your own business. But thankfully, I just sat down with my workplace and I said to them, look, I'm considering doing a video marketing agency. You know my thoughts on it. You know that I'm delivering marketing agency stuff for you for free as an employed role, although it isn't even in my remit. But now I want to branch out and do my own thing on the side. And they was fine with that, because deep down I think they know that I was doing things that was adding value way more than what was in my pay grade. But also I think they knew that I was in a position where if they would have said no, I would have left, because I would have allowed them to stop me from doing what I really wanted to do. And I think they understood the type of person that I was, that I wasn't going to take no for an answer kind of thing. But thankfully they was good. This brings me on to tip number two. Make sure that you've got 6 months worth of savings so that you can maintain the same standard of living for 6 months without a job. Or you can make sure that you've got consistent money coming in to pay, the bills. That is a key thing, because there's no point in getting hyped up. You get a few business clients and you think, I'm making money now this month. You leave your job and then the following month, there's no clients. There's no point in that. It doesn't make no sense. So make sure that you look after yourself, and especially if you've got a family. In my case, I had a newborn daughter, so I wasn't leaving anything until I knew 100% that I had something consistent that was rolling in. Tip number three, live on a humble income. Don't live beyond your means. Just because you're getting a bit of money coming in through the business, and it's probably more than what you've ever had, don't get pulled into the hype of we must spend like a businessman. Don't get caught up into that. I lived literally on 60% of the income that I had coming in, and I wouldn't live flashy or go out and spend like crazy or anything like that. Most of the time I was reinvesting money into the business so that I could reach that next level, and that's what enabled me to double my income every single year upon year. Tip number four, build your personal brand. Become known for what you do. Some people say niche down into a specific area in order to build more traction. Yes, this is useful, but sometimes if you was like me, I didn't know what to niche down. I was taking almost any project that come that I liked the sound of. If it enabled me to be creative and I had full creative freedom, and it was something that was challenging, like entering into an industry that had always done things a set way, and there was an opportunity for me to change the game within that industry, I would take it. When I first got into, say, like dressage with someone called Olivia Towers, who's an influencer, that was an opportunity to me, but realistically on a financial level, it wasn't as rewarding as my previous clients, nowhere near the clients that I have now, but it gave a challenge of changing the game within the industry to the point where now everybody's trying to follow that model that me and her set in the game. Tip number 5, this is possibly one of the most important tips that I can give. Don't listen to people that say that you can't. You're going to have a lot of people around you that were going to say, no, it's not going to work, you're going to fail. It's just not realistic, it's too competitive. They're going to give you all the negatives. They're not going to give you the solutions and encourage you. The majority of people around you. And a lot of the time it comes from those that you love the most and those that are around you. And a lot of the time it's people that are worried about you and they're concerned and they've never heard someone do what you're talking about doing. So because of that, they think it's unrealistic. You just need to protect your mindset and protect your heart, because you're going to be discouraged sometimes, you're going to get drawbacks, and the last things that you need when you get pushed back from, say, like going for a client that you didn't get or something like that, is someone saying it's not going to work. Because that's like treading on you when you're down, you know, like it's that feeling. We've all had it. You're probably dealing with it now, but it does get better. Remember, life is seasonal. Sometimes you have a lot of work when you're starting out and sometimes you have no work. But if you keep on being consistent, eventually you get consistent work. And then you get to that point where you're actually turning work down because it isn't the type of work that you want. Tip number 6 is networking. Networking is so important. You need to build alliances and partnerships with strategic partners that are going to offer you value in the sense of awareness or credibility and build your brand. And also you need to deliver them value. Forget what you're looking for. And obviously you're going to select certain people that are going to offer you some in the end, but never start and give value by thinking that actually if I do this, I'm going to get this. Because it's the wrong way to start a relationship. You want to ultimately be looking at people and thinking, not just are they popular like an influencer or someone like that, but you need to think, do I believe what they're actually doing? Like, do I like what they stand for? Do I like them as a person? If you don't like them as a person, then there's no point in doing it. They might offer you all the credibility and awareness that you like, but if you don't like what they stand for, like, just don't do it. Like, it's one of those things that I was adamant on in the very beginning, and it's helped me even up until now. I have a lot of influencers that message me often and say, like, will you create videos for us? But I don't believe in what they stand for, and I don't like what they stand for, so I don't select them. I'm very picky with the type of people that I like to work with. Like I always say, I like to work with people that are ready to change the game within the industry, and for the right reasons. Not change the game as in, like, you know, dress half naked just like within the industry to do something and get attention. It's not about that. Now, there's a number of ways that you can do this. There's chambers of commerce, there's business biscottis, there's loads of literal networking meetings that people go to where all small businesses, small SMEs all come together because they're looking to build partnerships and work with each other to bring each other business. There's always some in loads of different areas, whether you're in the UK or whether you're in the States, Europe, wherever it is, there's always networking meetings. And sometimes you might go to one and you might not be someone that's socially good and you might be socially awkward, but don't worry about that. There's other people that are there exactly the same, but it's good to go to, and sometimes you don't get business straight away, but eventually you do get business. So don't go there once and think, oh, I didn't get no contacts, I didn't make no sales, because it's a consistent thing. It's the same thing of building a relationship. Like, whenever you're creating content for a person, as you would know as a content creator, you're not going to get sales all the time on branded content, but after you build your brand and you become known for something, then the sales start to come in. Like, that's the way it works in real life within networking as well. And the number one thing within networking is just to be friendly. Don't try and push and sell or anything like that. Just be yourself, get to know people. The people that you like, you tend to do more business with. So just get to know people, get comfortable and get practicing. And by networking, when opportunities do pop up, because you're top of mind, because you're at yesterday's morning networking, coffee morning or something like that, then you're going to be the one that they suggest. So when someone's looking for, do you know someone that creates videos? They're gonna say, yeah, I was with Theo the other day, he's a really nice guy. They might not even have seen much of your work, they might have seen one video or two, but they know that you're a nice guy, you're a genuine guy, and you can be trusted. And then next thing you know, you've got a referral. Now, one major key that somebody told me is always better to be introduced than to try and introduce yourself. Like a major key. And throughout building this agency, like, it's something that I've remembered, and it 100% works. Now, there are loads of other tips that I could delve into and really like dig into and give you specifics on, but this video will go on for ages. And I kind of want to keep it short and sweet. But if you do want to see more videos on this topic where I go into more depth, specifically on different tips or whatever it is that you want, just leave it in the comments below and I'll try and make one. Or I might even possibly do a YouTube live or something like that, where I can actually engage and have a conversation with you guys. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure that you like and subscribe and keep that bell button so that you get the notifications. And we'll see you on the next one.